In the corner has been swamped with a
mind control.
Mind control.
Mind control.
Mind control.
Savings throws for mind control. So this is how bad I have failed. Receiving
I understand you have respect for serious play. Yes, I have a ritual with my channel where, like reminding fish that they're in water. I remind people that there's a lot of mind control out there, even if you just consider advertising.
So this is how bad I have failed.
I give you a savings throw against the mind control I use against you. So A, you know I'm using it against you, and if it works, I get more points. And B, you get the chance to resist. You base your resistance on your choice between your will to survive, your social networks, your accumulated wisdom, or the power of your heart.
Mind control will continue in a moment.
See, now I feel like you're baiting me because you invoked the word LARP, and I've been tweeting and thinking a lot about this idea. And it's funny, this is one of the things that the postmodernists really understand. Where I part ways with our postmodernist friends is that they just see LOL, nothing matters. For me, quite the contrary. And I was talking about a poem or something in class. The line was, dressing in your Sunday best. And none of my kids knew what the hell that was. Sunday best, like, what are you talking about? And of course, it's shorthand. Whether you go to church on Saturday or Sunday, everybody of a certain generation knew exactly what you meant when you said put on your Sunday finest, right? And so even the guy who went to work every day with a blue collar, and work boots and whatnot, showed up on Sunday in a basic suit. The guy who went to the office building and litigated things in the courtroom, who showed up in a suit Monday through Friday, showed up on Sunday or Saturday in a suit. Right, and there was something about the dignity of the proceeding dictated that you show up appropriately attired, right? And it was fascinating to me, and I wonder, if you could draw anything out of that. Is the draining of collective spiritual work that we used to call religion, is a draining of that space a cause or an indicator, I wonder?
Midwestuary 2025, August 22nd through the 24th in Elmhurst, Illinois. A weekend you won't want to miss, with special guests Cale Zeldin, Paul Vanderklay, Rod Dreer, Elizabeth Oldfield, John Vervaeke, and Jonathan Pajot. Midwestuary 2025, the Fellowship of the Spirit. Stay tuned for more details. Visit us at midwestuary.com for ongoing updates.
Whoa! Betide, a Grim Grizz stream for 6/2/2025 with quite a mysterious and evocative thumbnail. Oh, there I am. Hello. I see the assassins have failed. I am General Griswold Gaius Grimm of the second LARP Ingression Protocol. Welcome. We have exciting invites out currently to co-pilots in Afriel, as well as the mysterious Jonathan Dumir, rumored to be planning an op, but failing to report in quite mysteriously. And by the end of this, we'll talk about the woe betide and how that relates to this imagery you're seeing there before you But first, therefore, I have to present you with the savings throws versus the mind control to give you participatory knowledge of what it's like to take half damage from the mind control. You see, you're swimming in people trying to persuade you one way or another about the nature of reality. Whether that's the nature of reality is you should buy my product, or the nature of reality is anyway. Everybody is trying to convince you they have it right, but you get the savings throw against such attempts. Here. If you choose how you will resist it, whether your will to survive, your social network, your accumulated wisdom, or the power of your heart will fuel your resistance to the mind control. That's what you choose: survival, social, wisdom, or heart. I roll the die 10 or higher, half damage. 10 or higher, half damage. And have a little reprieve. You can get bonuses for chanting in that hive mind over there. And such. Survival, social, wisdom, or heart. Choose. Oh, socialist out the box. Survivalist coming in strong with 15 worth of 15s. Socialist falling out of the box with the Trinity. This one's going to get you probably. Accumulated wisdom, folks, pairing it up with the survivalist with also a 15. And the heart, folks, with 2 chakras worth of 14. 14 for half damage. Indigo, folks. You're at an 8 right now. You're going to have to talk in the hive mind if you're one of them indigo kids. What are those? We'll get...
Remember, Embody, there is no agency. We want
what's best.
We all know that there is no agency. Any living gent can see doing what is right for me. Lifting up my bro so he can grow some eyes to see that doing what is right for me increases all our agency.
Oh, I love that thing up there. We do have Afriel on deck, so let's bring him on the stage. Welcome there. I see you've been not highlighting comments.
Well, I didn't realize that I was supposed to be actively co-piloting. I just thought I was supposed to be coming on.
You're the only person who has the powers, man.
Ah, okay.
You have to step into the authority you've been given so we can say hi to J-Gat.
Okay, well, I'll be a good friend here and just highlight my own comment first.
Dr. Lenny Time says that's a cool hat.
Thank you.
It's a cool hat. Woe betide.
For attacking the darkness, that's what it's for.
Here you are throwing on the stream you know nothing about. Maybe Jonathan will show up.
Mm-hmm.
That part you can handle. But I came across some stuff when chatting with the Chat GPT, and it's the one we're using for our Raw project.
Okay.
So you're kind of involved. It's like 4 tabs deep though. So why don't you hang back and make the audience feel special, and I'll get us there. I'll get us that far.
Sounds good.
Slime! What? It's a river of slime!
Rejoice, although this world will devastate you. And rejoice, although this world will penetrate you. And rejoice, although you will not survive. Rejoice, you'll never make it out alive.
Excellent rehearsal, gentlemen.
And rejoice, your hair, it smells like burning hair. Oh, rejoice, your nails all got chewed off. Oh, rejoice, and holy fuck, you're bleeding there. Oh, rejoice, you burn your whole beard off. Rejoice, despite the fact this world will hurt you. And rejoice despite the fact this world will kill you. And rejoice despite the fact this world will tear you to shreds. Rejoice because you're trying your best.
Hey, I love that one, dude. That's gorgeous. Thank you, brother. Wait, who's that?
Andrew Jack.
All right, that brings us therefore then to section 1, and at least 2 tabs worth, and it appears I'm shuffling for this section the Red Church card of the show deck, the Red Church deck to determine the card of the show for the Red Church, which is the Deuce of Diamonds. So here's diamond number 1 in this hit parade. According to disclosedtv.bluecheck, Trump's big, beautiful bill bans all 50 states from regulating AI for 10 years, centralizes control at the federal level, and integrates AI systems into key federal agency. Diamond number 2. Senator Kennedy says, "This is a revolution, and public health. We're building a faster, smarter, and more accountable HHS to make America healthy again. Thank you, Dr. Mockery, for your leadership in driving this transformational change, which is that the US FDA launched ELSA, a generative AI tool designed to help employees, from scientific reviewers to investigators, work more efficiently. Remember, folks, AI is a giant nothing burger."
Remember, embody. There is no agency. We want what's best for you.
And today, earlier, we need a card for this. This would be the casino deck. As part of the mycelial network of the hive mind that functions when we're not surfaced on the attention in the hive mind and comment section, but down in the bowels of the vessel of the Discord, we occasionally, like if you can dodge the loiterers, share some important and interesting stuff. And this gift was brought to me thusly by President Foxman, who shared it in the tavern, which is where the cool kids hang out, not the loiterers who hang out in the voice chat. The cool kids are in the Czech channel. Anyway, Foxman brought me this, and it turns out the 32nd minute is pretty good, and it gave me flashbacks from my shoulder wound. To this day, some 25-ish years later, my shoulder still gets all wonky because of what happened to me in this game.
After a reload, god damn, it all boomeranged in my mind. Valve really got my ass. I wasn't just dipping a toe, my whole ass foot was slipping into that CS pool now, boy. I came back after Thanksgiving feeling recharged, motivated, and eager to play, starting with some casual comp games with the boys and girls, shout out Dean. The thing about CS is that because it requires so much focus and teamwork, every fuck up in a casual game is that much funnier. And then Shig drops like 40 kills and everyone thinks he's cheating.
Oh, what the fuck? What the fuck was that?
Okay, let's play. Let's play, brother.
I'm looking at my Instagram. Let's see.
I feel like the goddamn Tomb Raider.
Let's go. Ramp A, ramp less.
Oh! Yo, look at Shig. Is his foot up for y'all?
Oh.
Everybody.
I got tattoos of shoes on my feet, so I don't have to wear shoes.
Just letting all you guys know I'm gonna hop right on. Right on, dude. Just thought I'd kind of let you guys know it's a situation.
Oh, I'm Molly fucked. Molly fucked up.
Double kill.
Critical hit.
Mommy wants more. Mommy's hungry. That's just the beginning of what mommy can do.
I'm gonna throw a frag into this so I can peek it.
Minnesota. I went there once when I was a child because my cousins used to live there, and I was scared I was gonna get a swirly.
What?
I think we do the same thing. Go B and then change our mind and go A.
Just keep changing our mind.
Snake boy.
All right, I changed my mind. Let's go A again. Okay, change my mind. Let's go B.
I changed my mind. He didn't land the 33rd minute, but but there's a part in there where he talks about like the sweet crack of the cocaine that is it for at least 10 people. You see something amazing happen, and that shared experience that is like the foundational dopamine hit, as described in Counter-Strike. Somebody else can find the clip. It's in this video. It'll be in the. I'm doing the sources in the first reply, the first comment of the live stream. If you guys want to check up on that stuff, yeah. Here's the casino deck card of the show. It's the deuce of clubs, with the second part I thought was worthwhile, the 57th minute.
What experience is gained. Returning to the game days later, playing casual comp games with the lads, something began to snap into focus. When I played comp, I wasn't hyper-focused on the win or loss. I was only focused on achieving moments where I really did something, regardless of the end result. These moments often only witnessed by the other 9 souls on that server, that is Counter-Strike. That was the very simple answer as to why millions log on every night and get the shit beat out of them again and again and again, only to do it the next day. The potential contained in every round for you, your friends, or a complete stranger to witness something incredible, regardless of the scoreline or favorable odds. And also, unfortunately, a lot of people log on just to gamble. Counter-Strike was no longer just a goal or a thing for me to beat. It's a brutal highway that never ends. You will never beat this game, but that brutal, unrelenting road contains a beauty I feel eternally grateful to experience with my friends. Regardless of our jobs, our kids, or our zip codes, that road is always going to be there. And thinking of that
They got me F. Set us up the bomb.
If anybody put corn in the chat. Hello, I see the assassins have failed. You can't just throw me on stage like that. Like, what is this? What is this? Yeah, no. Okay, I got something. You go do whatever you're gonna do.
What do you mean I can't? Of course I can. Of course I did. Obviously. You can hear us now, though, right, Rascal?
Yeah, I just for a moment there forgot that I had myself muted. Yeah, no. League of Legends was my drug of choice for quite a while, and the only reason that I stopped playing was because they kept cutting it with worse and worse crap. If they actually did proper community management and actually made it so that the games were consistently of good quality, I would probably still be playing to this day. So it's hard to explain what's so engaging about games like CSGO and League of Legends without having actually experienced it firsthand for yourself. But I get the sense that it's probably on the same tier as like MMA fighters or boxers or anybody else who's involved in a combat sport. It's that level of tension of like at any moment, one wrong move could cause either of us to lose. Like, it's so addicting.
Parlato is saying things that like almost make it sound like he played the same old video game.
Jack's Jungle. That's what that means.
That means what?
JG stands for jungle, and Jax is one of the champions that you can play.
Oh, good. That was close. Welcome, Parlato.
And
Heimerdinger is the only thing League of Legends I'm willing to remember,
and
it's because he's the Team Fortress turret guy.
Well, you still do TF2.
I've dipped back into because of you. You said that hold M1 trigger.
WM1, yeah.
And they got this whole thing now where, like, if you get the right pair of goggles, like maps are redrawn in pyro vision.
Yes.
And he shoots bubbles instead of flames. It's so great.
Mm-hmm.
It's so great. I got a Blue Church card of the show coming up because what happened was I was trying to get people in the TLC to get that. I guess it would have to be a Twitch-based game, right? But we've had 2 attempts now. First with Path of Exile and then City of Heroes. And it turns out after the server update Sunday that I can't log into City of Heroes for a whole month without getting the Proud badge. And it's, my friends have already abandoned me in that game, and so I don't know that I'll continue after that. It's like my character would be tarnished with a sodomy pride badge if I log in. So I've loaded up StarCraft for the month of June in the interim, and the Blue Church card of the show is the 10 of Hearts.
Am I allowed to say obscure slurs on this stream?
Obscure ones? If they're obscure enough.
It might not be obscure enough.
All right, well,
certain kinds of internet janitors. There we go. Certain kinds of internet janitors are the best.
The best. Okay. So I don't know if Demir's been murdered. He was supposed to stream with me today about this estuary infiltration project, and he's gone incognito. There was a known agent on the scene, and I don't know. We might have to wait till the next McMo stream to figure out what's going on with that. But I think as channel members know, we've recently released the next in our segment of playing with the 4th density, 5th, 6th density contact channelings and their affect. And as it turns out, the algorithm has reciprocated. The 4 of spades is the juxta card of the show. The algorithm has reciprocated by dropping me things like this from the LNL research channel. What is this? Carla with from December 1989. So like well after Don is dead and the Raw stuff is over. This is the who speaks through her then. And it hit me with this consider yourselves as toddlers just learning to walk. Everything you do in material reality you view as like an idiot child. And it landed with this part here where it says you must firstly you must accept that the magical personality is already your own personality, for all time is simultaneous. I think I saw Doc out there. He might have an opinion about that. And so I fed it into the thing, of course. And I said, I'd like to play with the notion of simultaneity of time. What you got? And it's got the future me who has already been forgiven this is watching me remember how. The ancient me who set this in motion is nodding now that I see it, and write a message from your child self to the now you, as if that version is alive and witnessing what you're becoming. Or you could try the quantum self-alignment. The overlay meditation of putting yourself in a loop, and then also you breaking free, and then also you already transcended. And synchronicity as a time echo. This is the one I watched. Write a short myth explaining today as a coordinated message from another you in a different temporal phase. Oh, good. Oh, good. Jonathan's alive.
Hello. How's it going? Sorry I'm late.
Oh, it's good. We were becoming increasingly worried.
As you can see, I'm not in the van as of yet because we are cramming to get everything into the van. Would you like the grand tour?
I would, but we need some branding right now, so get ready for that.
Did you get that on video?
It's branding.
No, I'm not going to. I'll show you later.
Usually,
F for sound?
Usually.
Send me that. 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 Hey, yo. I just feel bad for this game. My God. Yes, okay.
And just so.
I like that they're won by Cosmic Muppet. Magicality is dream world permission slip to look behind the curtain of mystery, which is fine as long as you don't lie. And now, the grand tour of the agency van. I guess is it that's what this is? Let's see. First I do this, then
The
this,
Platonic van.
then this.
Welcome to the van. I'm here with Joe Man in the flesh. Can I see you guys? We're full screen, Joe. Nice. So as I briefly mentioned, you can see I'm still at my parents' house because we are cramming to get everything in the van. We're pretty dang close. We got pretty much everything set up. We're just like tossing in the last couple things. Might have to leave tomorrow instead of tonight, probably. Yeah. And
Wait. Why are you cramming things in the van? No one knows anything about you or what the hell you're
You're looking
doing.
for a proper introduction. This is quite a radical shift of consciousness, but perhaps I can muster it. We are. Who are we, Joe? Estuary Road Trip. I'm trying to move out of my parents' house, and I love my parents, but you gotta do it sometimes. And Joe is in a similar situation, and we were like, hey, maybe we can do an estuary road trip, and then in the process we'll find somewhere to live, or
why are you calling it an estuary road trip?
Because that's a good question, Sir Grimgriz. We are planning to attend various estuaries. Yes, first up was the Glastonbury one, which we went to yesterday. Was pretty dope. And as you can see our map at estuaryroadtrip.com.
Wait, what? Okay, you have a website with a map, and you've already infiltrated a Glastonbury thing?
Yeah, it's actually crazy. It's in my hometown, of all places. Like, I'm pretty sure it's like the only one in the Northeast, except for...
What was the name of that website again?
estuaryroadtrip.com.
Estuary. Is this authorized by Van Donk? Did you get his go-ahead for this shit?
Not quite, but I assume, he seems to be a pretty cool dude. He would probably let it slide. You'd be proud of us, Grimgriz. We use AI to make the websites. It's pretty cool.
What? What? You made the AI to do what?
Basically, you design a website, and then you're like, AI, turn this into a website, an actual coding one that requires coding, and then it does it for you.
Oh, really? Which website do you know? Oh, look, a Venmo at J. Dumir.
Yeah, figured some people might want to donate.
What if they? Oh, well, if you're bringing us vicariously along on this beautiful path by filming videos, is each of those little red markers an estuary infiltration?
Yes, I think I will still update the map a little bit because it's slightly confusing. As you can see, there's a little loop up in Michigan there, and then it goes down to the east. It goes clockwise around the United States, and it's kind of confusing because there's a lot of estuaries in that spot. All the red dots are estuaries, but also the map is also designed, as you can see, there's a little corner in Oklahoma, and that's where we plan to visit you. And...
Oh God! Oh, but we'll record that as well as part of this Remember Embody road trip. Did you talk to Grimgriz about licensing that name?
I think I heard he said he liked it. So
what is this shining star part in the middle there?
That, my friend, is Midwestuary 2025. Get your tickets today. Smooth jazz.
What do you mean? Is that so? Your trip is ending at Midwestuary? You're capping it all off.
I mean, hopefully, there will be further happenings afterward. Hopefully, hopefully things go on. But
the journey itself that's mapped out and described here that we're talking about on today's fucking stream, Jonathan.
Yes. I mean, the world's a crazy place. The world's a crazy place, Grimgrid. It's a crazy place. You never know what's going to happen in the world, and that's part of the thinking as well. It's like maybe we can...
in Elmhurst, Illinois. A weekend you won't want to miss with special guests Cale Zeldin, Paul Vanderklay, Rod Dreer, Elizabeth Oldfield, John Vervaeke, and Jonathan Pajot. Midwestuary 2025, the Fellowship of the Spirit. Stay tuned for more details. Visit us at midwestuary.com for ongoing updates.
You were muted for the sake of branding.
Welcome. Yeah. All good. Yeah, I was just about to say that, you never know what's going to happen in the world. We live in crazy times. So, part of it is also maybe I can meet my like-minded people and find some sort of situation that is more suited to the possibility space, which we are encountering here in 2025.
Mm-hmm.
And, also, I just want to meet all these people IRL. As some of you may know, I think eye contact, particularly body language, in-person resonance, this is important stuff, so I'm excited to actually, practice what I rave about, if you will. Yes. And, and we went to one yesterday. Went to one yesterday.
Right, well, since there are agents infiltrating these estuaries looking for malcontents and mysterious, are they building a right-wing militia in this estuary? What's your report from Glastonbury? And is he your Silent Bob, or does he get to tell us?
No, he's
I was going to actually. I have to say that this was my first estuary. I didn't even do it on the internet before this, and I figured it'd be pretty cool. But I was pleasantly surprised. It was pretty awesome. It's a nice little small group, probably about 10 people. And I would support any weirdo in this general vicinity of New England to attend.
Yeah, it was very cool. The first time I went was 2 weeks ago, and it was a bit overwhelming, just because it was so awesome to finally meet people in person. But, I would rather be overwhelmed in a positive way than it was almost too good. It was so good, but so I assume that we'll, I'll get used to it as of sorts. And it was freaking awesome.
And we also met Cece there in real life, and she is a real person.
Cece Moore. I'm supposed to be. We're supposed to be recording as of tomorrow. I'll hear the backside of that story. That's exciting.
Nice.
So, is this whole fixing up the van and the road trip, and like maybe people who show up at these estuaries making appearances on your channel, or these stops you make here? Is that something we get to ride along with and watch via YouTube at a YouTube channel?
It is. You asked the best questions, Chris. We intend to do a vlog YouTube channel. We actually have the YouTube channel set up.
Excuse, and intend to do. So you have Jack right now?
No, actually, we have a YouTube channel. There's no videos posted yet, but I believe it's called either the Remember and Body Road Trip or Estuary Road Trip 1, I think, because who knows, maybe other people will take up this.
It's kind of important if you know which one it is. What should I put in the search box, Mr.
Search Estuary Road Trip 1.
Estuary Road Trip 1. It's looking like no, sir. No.
Okay,
maybe like I do at and with no spaces, right?
Maybe if you search particularly for channels, it might, because there's no videos. So
channels with no video.
But yes, I was planning to edit the first video tonight. We have lots of.
It is. If you do the at symbol and whatnot, this comes up. Looks like we already have victims of publicity.
Yeah, that's it.
Right there.
You know, maybe I don't know if they all want their faces to be there. Maybe we'll change the picture. But yeah, that's the estuary group we went to yesterday. And as you can see, it's a wonderful group of people by their wonderful smiles. And
all right. Well, I want to say, everybody should stop by this Venmo at J. Dumir and drop him for some legal fund for when I go after his remember and body usage. Later, go ahead and stuff his coffers for that, and continue to pressure him to deliver on this YouTube channel.
Perhaps we can need some sort of agreement outside of the courtroom. You know, about perhaps
That's far down the estuary road. It can be what you put on the estuary tables. It's like, shit, man, I'm about to go meet Grim Grizz. We've been calling this a remember and body shit, and I haven't uploaded but 2 videos.
Hey, well, you know,
my part is to...
Yeah, we've done a lot in a week. You know, we've been staying up pretty late.
It's been busy.
You know, but we're about to be done here, you know, and just put in some very nice shows.
If you didn't video yourself doing it, you didn't do it.
We got some video. We've been slacking a little bit in this regard. But,
I hope you can get it edited while Joe drives. This is going to be a fascinating adventure for all of us.
Thank you, man.
Do you have any front-mounted camera things for when you're driving down cool roads? Like I like to do. You know, I like mine, right?
Yeah, dude, I very much like the vibe. I think we will perhaps have to set that up.
I did get some video like that before mine.
Okay, so obviously these guys need as much advice as you can give them, and also your support and love. There's that link. It's in the Hive Mind chat. We'll put it also in the video. You guys got a lot of work to do. Thanks for being you, though.
Thank you, man.
Get the hell out of here. All right, that was that. This is happening. This is how I steer. This is me chasing this thing, yeah. This is how I steer. Yeah. This is me chasing this thing, yeah. All right. Do you have comments or thoughts you'd like to share with the crowd there?
Now that they're gone, I get to share comments and thoughts.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask them directly, like, "Hey, if you guys are gonna be grifting, what are you grifting for? Like, what are we paying for with this money that we're gonna be giving to you?" And not just in terms of like, what are you going to use it to buy it, but like, what service are you going to provide? Because I think that checking out the estuaries to see if they are full of right-wing extremists or not is a paltry thing that could be accomplished by any intelligence agency. I don't really care about that so much. What I care about is how consistent is the estuary protocol executed across all of these different places? What differences between them are interesting or positive or negative? Who are some of the other interesting folks that you've met along the way? Whether that's CC Moole, who that was fucking awesome that you guys met her in person. Who else do you get to meet along the way? And who are the quiet ones in the shadows, the people who are only going to estuary but are not participating in TLC, but are people to look for come mid-westuary? Those are the kinds of things that I want to know, the kinds of things that I'd be willing to pay good money for that information.
Well, we have the power of Reapers who make clips of shit, and we'll have them do that for that, and then demand a response video addressing each point from Dumir as he's trying to step on our namespace, and it's like having a pledge. It's like having a pledge. Speaking of which, I think we should probably get to the Betide and the thumbnail delivery. For that, we'll get the fresh casino deck card of the show. The Six of Hearts. The Six of Hearts. That came across because of this. Again, this is the part 4 of the same thing with the Carla channeling the Kuo. And let's see if this isn't this.
The list? Yes, any of the first level ones.
I'm gonna get a soda. Anyone want one? Hey, Graham, I'm not in the room, right?
What room? I want to cast Magic Missile.
The room where he's casting all these spells from.
He hasn't cast anything yet. I am, though, if you'd listen. I'm casting Magic Missile. Why are you casting Magic Missile? There's nothing to attack here. I'm attacking the darkness.
Or maybe we'll start with this. So in this part, she's talking about the adept and the what is it with like the whole that side of TLC and the dick and fart jokes? I mean, is it like to counter signal Grail country's intellectualism, or
I think I'm gonna go with the whole Peterson's lack of play in their youth, and so now they're having to get it all out now that they finally found a group of friends to do it with.
Fascinates me, and disgusts me on behalf of half of my audience, client base, hive mind.
Well, now that I've derailed you,
that's what they're here for.
So say we all. Yuck, yuck, yuck. Ho, ho, ho.
Now, this part where she's talking is about those seeking to be adept or adepthood, which back when I encountered the raw material was well beyond my purposes and my justification for still not meditating 14 years later. But like, I was like, I'm not interested in being an adept or pursuing this line of power. But what serviced me about that material was that it made more sense than my lack of understanding of the Christian cosmology. And like having a cosmology with the explanatory power for like the situation. Because what happened was, when I was 8 years old, I read on the side of a box for ages 10 and up, and it was Dungeons and Dragons. And what happened is my selfhood became attached to an identity that was capable of manifesting in multiple characters. And so that's a foundational axiom about the selfhood. And as a potentially meet reality, the prime material plane being a manifestation of the embodiment of a character in the game world, I needed to. I wanted to know the mechanics of the game because, for example, in the Dark Sun one I play on Friday, all the gods are literally gone. Whereas in most Dungeons and Dragons, there's pantheons of deities and stuff. In Dark Sun, they're all dead. So similarly, I wanted to know how it worked in this particular game world, and what occupied it, and like made us in the garden and we fell is an incomplete cosmology. And it doesn't do very well about the explaining the nature of evil and whatnot. And so my greatest curiosity was like, all right, so I'm born into this world and there's obvious the good guys and the bad guys. Why are people choosing the bad guy side when it's obvious what's going on here? I don't understand that. And so that was really the spark of my curiosity that the raw material really sated. And I was wondering if that was like that for you.
In a way, sort of.
Or were you turned on by the adept part and you wanted to?
Nah, I am very skeptical and hesitant about that kind of stuff. I've done a bit of meditation, not consistently or long enough to really say that I got good at it, and really just that meditation. And I got some decent results from it. It helped put me in a state of mind where I could actually like think through and address the things that were going on in my mind a little bit more clearly.
There was a qualia shift in thought.
It was more like it quieted down the noise enough that I could actually hear things clearly. That's how I would describe it. The thing that I grew up Catholic, but my mom
ruler knuckle Catholic?
No, not ruler knuckle Catholic. That was, I think, before my time. But my mom didn't grow up with any church at all, but still was like vaguely Christian, but not really strongly, and it was more of like just
like Dominion Christian.
I don't even know how. I would be curious how she would describe it. And then my dad, I believe, was Methodist, and then converted to Catholicism with my mom in their college years. But even with that, like they're very open-minded about a lot of theological things. They're not people who have kind of said, no, we're going to follow just strictly this doctrine. And I think that that's just always given me a bit of more of a questioning attitude about a lot of things. And so I had never been fully satisfied with, and they had always kind of, the way I think of it is like if you're doing a Sudoku puzzle and you don't know what goes in a particular square, you like pencil in the numbers that you think it might be. It's like I penciled in the number of or eventually I erased the number of Jesus is the one and only Son of God, and I put that back as a pencil mark, which is a little concerning for some folks in TLC. But it's like I'm open to that being the truth, but I'm not so convinced that it has to be the truth in order for everything else to make sense.
Well, to fulfill the contract of the covenant by the Yalgadar, it kind of does.
Can't say the name. We're not going to say the name clearly. Not gonna get that jinx on us.
Well, anyway, let us get therefore then to where I'm trying to get to with the Betide. Betide. That one came today. It's here. No, I am shared.
While you're doing that, I'll get to the raw material. I was just browsing around on one of the forums that I frequent. I think I mentioned it in one of our episodes, and I just started reading it because I've just had that natural curiosity about things, and it's like you can usually tell if something's just BS within the first couple of pages, and this was not BS, and I didn't know really what to make of that. Like and then I had been listening to Paul for a couple of years, and then was getting signals from prayer that I should be starting to try and participate more in this TLC thing he kept mentioning. And then I go to watch a video of yours because your name had come up a bunch. And then the first video that I had watched of yours, you referenced it without naming it, which I knew was a much wiser way of approaching it than calling it out directly, which maybe that questions the wisdom of us talking about it directly now, but I feel like I have wanted to talk about it ever since I first read it. Couldn't find anybody. Finally found somebody. Came across as an agent when I tried to reach out the first time. And now it's like I'm finally getting to talk about it, and at the same time, it's like I'm at the same time very excited about it, very happy that I'm finally getting to articulate thoughts that I've had for such a long time about this, and also kind of terrified because, well, if there's a fifth density visitor that keeps them company throughout their experiences, is there going to be something similar for us doing our own
you're
exercises?
generating fear vibrations already. That makes you unclear.
Well, I don't think I mentioned this to you yet, but and I think you cut out from my stream before it happened. One of my neighbor's dogs tried to get into my chickens yesterday, or 2 days ago, Saturday night. So I've been reinforcing the coop there, and it's like
reinforcing the coop.
Odd timing is all.
See, that's one of my makes me better taglines. Thinks is dream logic. Like the other day, I was walking kayfabe, and a three-legged dog that doesn't normally come running out came running out and was all sniffing him. And, it was just a dog. It was just a reality that a three-legged dog came out. But if I had that as a dream, like I wake up in the morning having just dreamt that I was walking kayfabe and a three-legged dog came out, I would be like, oh, what's the symbolism there? So Chad can't hear. That's an unfortunate. Maybe you weren't meant to, Chad. Maybe you weren't meant to. Okay, so let me get to this thing. The part I stopped on today was Woe Betide, which delivers on the title. We're getting there. So this is her channel. I'd play it, but that's you can for yourself. It'll be in the comment thing. I'll do the reading. It is not advisable, in our opinion, to keep the magical personality any longer than one is able to remain completely clear within. Somewhere earlier in this, they reference it as the still small voice, which is noteworthy. This normally limits that which the magical personality may do to very brief moments within the waking hours and to inspiriting dreams during those hours when the subconscious and the conscious move together in play, ritual, and in meaning. For woe betide those who act as if they were acting out of the magical personality when they are less than clear. May we say this is extremely inadvisable, and that the student of the magical personality who does not wish to study the tree of life, the CABAL, and those things which would inform one of the history of the concept, content the self with knowing that the magical personality lies within you, fallow and ready to bloom. And for me, that's a thing, because while it's not explicitly a raw version of a magical personality, there is the case of General Griswold Gaius Grimm. And so I got into discussing that with the particular GPT we're using for the raw stuff within the project. And so I fed it that the whole mode to get it on point. And pure preparation is purification, invocation of guardians. That part was neat. She calls out to the archangels and sticks them in the corner to make a golden dome of protection for when calling to these higher entities. And also in the channeling part, I fed it. They promote calling out to anybody for assistance that I don't know is in alignment with your intent. and your belief system, I would think.
Quick disclaimer, by the way. Remember, Embody, it's not okay to order angels to do things for you. And anybody who says that that is the way to be doing anything is probably leading you astray.
I don't know if it's okay or not, but it's interesting that it's not like an opinion to be formed. An opinion to be formed. Then the magical personality as the inner higher self. For by far the majority of those who channel are channeling their own magical personality, their uniqueness, which is the materialist view that of the situation that still makes it interesting. Is that it's all in their head and they're just channeling themselves, but it's still neat what comes out.
Response to Neil, only if you ask politely.
Only if you ask politely. It's a But then let's see. She mentioned that I was like, oh, by the way, here's my whole thing, my whole shtick, where what is not a magical personality of General Griswold Gaius Grim is an indigo thief, as via the rules of the pot, and Seshat and the Seshat, as it turns out. This was its recommended upgrades from the first LARP ingression protocol to the second. The NPC disarmament rituals replaced with mnemonic ribbon reconvergences, where players track the moments they felt most lucidly unreal when they were cozening the indigo, I guess. They want to remake the savings throws to self-recorded reflex tests. You don't just roll afterwards. You reflect on what you were about to do and whether or not the roll made a difference in what you ended up doing. I always thought it'd be useful to use one for quitting smoking or something. Like, I'm trying to quit smoking. Oh God, here's a craving. I'll roll a savings throw. And then they want to do our live stream communion to ribbon weaving sessions, where we deliberately unspool personal, collective, and mythic threads and tie them into sigil moments. Man, the sigil magic pushes so hard in this model. But then I fed it this. This is Seshet. She's the Thoth's girlfriend, essentially, historically. And as you can see, she's entered a special state of consciousness by this plant on her head. She has with her there the staff of the Reign of Kings, basically keeping history. And at the bottom of keeping history is the Keck Omega frog. And so I wanted to tie all of those things together. And I made a couple image changes. It's essentially like her, you're cozening the indigo.
And a camera on the frog head. That is interesting.
But I put the camera because you see, the thing about cozening indigo is when I rediscovered cannabis, because when I was first exposed to cannabis in my teenage years, I became violently ill. Like the stench of it made me physically nauseous. But later in life, I encountered it again and turned into this. And during this time, I was convincing myself as a lefty why it was okay. And I found Carl Sagan, who was promoting its use, saying that it being in that state provided him insights, and he'd have to wake up and hurry and jot them down because you forget things. But instead of worrying about hurrying and jotting them down, we live in a society where you can just record yourself hopping around, and then it's not lost at all. It's right there. It's right there. And then I said, make the version for this stream, folks. make the version for this Betide stream, and it did. Ta-da! We've delivered. We've advertised Dumir. What's the Hive Mind got anything? Looks like the guitar player from Soundgarden. Only sativa. Don't let them mix fentanyl in your Adderall. That's what hybrids are. They're terrible. So, anything you want to say?
Just one thing to add on, because I know that a lot of people are probably very skeptical about all of our dabblings here. The end message from the raw material, at least the one that I got from it, is that you don't have to worry about doing any crazy stuff. You don't have to be doing anything magical or ritual or sigil. The whole point of being here, the whole thing you should be focusing on is learning to serve others. You don't need any of that other stuff. It might help, maybe, but the whole point is you are supposed to learn to, well, you either to serve yourself or to serve others. I would encourage serving others.
It does seem to be a more gradient slope. Yes, the purpose of here is to learn love. And then you can point it inwards or point it outwards, but just to sit there and not do it is basically you're going to reincarnate again if you don't, bro. You're going to have to be here again. That's the system they propose. I don't know if that's accurate, but it might as well be. Oh, there was more. I do have one more segment there. Hold on.
Now what'll that asshole think of next? Is anybody got a dime?
People very just king, great king. People error, people king, big, just king. Happy, many down, many jack king from right, just new king, big, great can new, happy. The owls are not what they seem, the owls. People very just king, great king. People error, people king, big, just king. Happy, many down, many jack king from right, just new king, big, great can new, happy. The owls are not what they seem. The owls are not what they seem. The owls, people very just king, great king. People error, people king, big, just king. Happy, many down, many jack king from right, just new king, big, great can new, happy. The owls are not what they seem, the owls.
Oh, Spatch is leaving. Well then, I guess it's a perfect time to give him the FOMO and have him miss out on this brand new branding from Chad.
Hello.
First of all, it's not the end, Sherry. That wasn't the train. That wasn't the train. That was Chad's brand new branding. Brand new from Chad. And you thought it was awesome. We had a jumper card from the casino deck. The 5 of spades jumped out. I thought I'd report. Why is everybody up this late? Because I'm streaming. I'll let you go to bed soon. But on behalf of the fraternal regiment embodying narcissistic sociopathy, I'm always trying to up my game as a cult leader, and I do deep involved research, such as this lady who apparently was grown up in the Children of God one.
She will join cult number 2 either way. So she was either going to join the second patriarchal cult started by the woman, which is the divine goddess one, or she'll end up joining the one I just described, the cult with the sisterhood that is actually very insidious. Okay, so that's the end of woman with patriarchal and matriarchal wounds. The woman who would join a cult, the woman with a patriarchal wound that wants to join a cult started by a man, will join this next first cult that I'm about to describe. And now we are going on to the men. When a man with a father...
Now, what stuck out to me about this is how she framed it in terms of people joining cults as having matriarchal or patriarchal womb. And then it tied back in my mind to the Frederick Knudsen piece on the Mouse Utopia experiments when stage C set in and the mother rats lost the ability to rear their children properly, which is what comes to mind when I think of notions like a matriarchal room. I will have to say that she failed to deliver on the Aubrey Marcus part of this video titled The Emotional Psychology of New Age Cults. Aubrey Marcus and Wounded Leaders. Barely a name drop in there, lady. That was really kind of bullshit. But her second piece, The Emotional Psychology of New Age Cults Turning from Community to Cult Part 2, highlights how it starts out as a community and then goes sour, and I thought this part was neat.
Things to look for to avoid the change, because again, you're in something wonderful and loving before the change. So red flags to look for to avoid the change. Number 1 red flag, there's a leader positioned at the top with, quote, more exclusive access to God, the truth, or the way. Leaders sometimes, and people asked this in the comments earlier, leaders start cults on accident. They truly believe, though, that they are superior. And that blinds them to any sort of harm that they are doing. But there's a leader at the top with a superiority complex, with a true deep belief that they know better than you. Number 2 is transactional belonging. Please look out for this one. This is where you exchange something of monetary value in exchange for the feeling that you did something important or the feeling of belonging. So they will take nanny services, they will take you building a house. It's something that's monetizable that they will exchange for, like, oh, you're such a great guy, or you're so, oh my God, what a beautiful like woman. It's so nice to see a woman actually being a woman and baking food or taking care of the children, or it's always some.
Is anybody got a dime?
And in the special section, because Sherry came up and was like, I'm always here when it's ending, and I had to keep going. Well, it turns out that our good friend Pastor Paul Vanderklay is going on streams that play games that aren't Monster Party Monster Fights with a guy calling himself Lambda.
Human being. By God. And the outcome in that sense of the most important aspect of my life was predetermined. And I guess once people reach that point, they then take it sort of as a given, I think, that everything else in life is deterministic. But I sometimes wonder if that is an unwarranted leap. I guess we've got other verses like, before a word is even on my lips, yet you know it completely, Lord, and things like this. So there's a sense in which God clearly knows a great deal about the future. But I like to hold open the door to the idea that there are some details for which God simply, maybe less important details than our salvation, but he kind of keeps some level of randomness in the mix, as it were. I don't know why I like to think that, but maybe it's my contrarian nature that even amongst scouts.
Yeah, maybe tell us more about you. You know what fascinated me most, other than that Paul went on a game that wasn't a monster fight, was that this fellow apparently does retreats where his beautiful audience of 5,800 subscribers are invited to come spend time with him for money, and that this is a 3-bedroom home. Do you think I should offer retreats? Would you come retreat to Oklahoma for fun and profit? Think about it, and I'll see you next time. I got a thank you, but nobody put any trains in the thing. As it turns out, I figure Av is going to want to hang out after and talk. So I've dropped the StreamYard link. Anybody wants to be a part of that after talking party,